You get to start your career again today, but you have the knowledge you've gained over the years. What is the one piece of advice you have for yourself as you start your career? Such a great question. I would say patience. And that it is a process, and building something strong that will be sustainable takes a lot of patience in the terms of heart rate and working toward that. Along that is a huge proponent for nutrition. I've learned over the years how important nutrition is. It's ideal. It's needed and required day in and day out to have really good sustainability, good races, and good training. So those are the two focus areas I would look at. What is the best way to cope with cold water in an open water swim? My first race is coming soon and I'm concerned about the cold water. Yes, me too. I have a race coming up and I have to go in the cold water. The best way to cope, try to get in a few days before if you're coming into the race site a little bit earlier, just to kind of get acclimated to what it would feel like. A neoprene cap, I use Blue 70 neoprene caps and they're fantastic underneath my normal swim cap. You can double cap it. They also have a pretty warm weathered wetsuit now that's made for colder temps. I'm going to be using a normal wetsuit. However, anything that kind of can keep you warm and also acclimated is beneficial. So what I like to do is get in the water, make sure that I get it on my face prior to the swim start, because that's kind of where the shocking effect comes into play for me. Earplugs are always really helpful. Sometimes even Vaseline on the face to kind of give you that extra layer helps a ton. But other than that, it's something that you just have to kind of progress into. Obviously, if the air temp's cold, you want to make sure that you have extra clothing when you get into T1. That's always a hard one, especially gloves or something on your hands. I have actually used socks on my hands for the start of a race, so I can just throw them at an aid station and not worry about losing a good pair of gloves. Is 4 half marathons in a season doable for a new runner? Well, that's a pretty good question. In terms of a new runner, I think we have to define what that is. If you're coming from no running to running a half marathon, I think probably 4 is a little bit of high reach. I would basically focus on doing 1 and seeing where that leads to. It could take you anywhere from 16 to 24 weeks to kind of get the mileage that you would want to do a half marathon if you're coming from completely no running. If you are coming from a little bit of running, meaning you've run 2 to 3 times a week, maybe 3 to 4 miles at a time, you can build on that pretty quickly. I would say that 4 is still a pretty lofty goal. It's not doable. It just depends how your training is and how you can sustain the mileage over time and kind of build it up. With that in mind, I would highly recommend having a coach that can kind of help you transfer the thought of 4 half marathons into an actual plan, and just kind of progress you. Since you are a new runner, there's lots to learn, and it would be a fantastic challenge. So if you need some help, you can connect with me at angelaneeth.com. Flat pedals versus clipless pedals for a beginner in gravel or mountain biking. Well, I guess it comes with comfort. So if you're a beginner, I would almost see what you do in other sports in terms of road riding, or if this is completely brand new to you. A good way to kind of start on different terrain, which a gravel bike and a mountain bike brings you, is flat pedals, just to kind of get the maneuverability of the bike and learn some handling skills. However, clipless pedals are pretty awesome because they allow you to really torque on the pedals, use not only your downstroke but your upstroke to kind of maneuver around things and create power on the bike. So clipless pedals, if you're wanting a really good ride, I would jump right into them and just practice them on the roads. Make sure you know how to get in and out of them. They're pretty simple and self-explanatory once you get them, and they make the riding a whole lot more fun.